In a lively village between tall mountains and green forests, there lived a young boy named Kofi. He was 12 years old, with deep brown skin and curly black hair that framed his round face. His bright eyes sparkled with curiosity, always looking for new adventures. Kofi loved music. He drummed on anything he could find, wooden crates, pots, and even his own thighs, creating rhythms that filled the air with joy. His best friend, Nia, was just as adventurous. She had braided hair decorated with colorful beads and moved with grace. Nia was slightly taller than Kofi, with strong arms and skin like polished mahogany. She was skilled with a bow and arrow, often practicing in the fields outside the village. Kofi and Nia spent their days exploring the forest, climbing trees, and dreaming of far-off places. Their friendship was strong, filled with laughter and a shared love for adventure. One day, while wandering deeper into the forest than ever before, Kofi and Nia found a hidden cave. The entrance was covered in vines, and a strange glow came from inside. Curious, Kofi led the way in. The cave was cool and dark, but as they went further, they discovered an ancient drum on a stone pedestal. The drum was made from dark wood and covered with the skin of a large animal. Its surface had intricate patterns that seemed to dance in the flickering light. Kofi's eyes lit up with excitement. "Look at this, Nia. It's amazing!" he exclaimed as he picked up the drum. Unable to resist, he started to play a simple rhythm. Suddenly, the ground shook and dark clouds swirled above the cave. Rain poured down from the sky, soaking the thirsty land and bringing life back to the village. Kofi and Nia jumped in delight, their laughter echoing off the cave walls. But as the rain kept falling, they realized they had awakened something powerful, a force beyond their understanding. Elder Mosi, the wise village elder, heard the noise and rushed to find Kofi. His long white beard swayed as he hurried, and his eyes widened with worry. "Stop! You must listen," he shouted. "That drum is enchanted. It can control the elements, but you must use it wisely. Great power can bring great destruction." Word of the enchanted drum spread quickly, reaching warlord Ziri, a cruel conqueror known for his greed. Ziri had a scar on his cheek and wore shiny armor. He wanted the drum to rule over all the lands. He gathered his soldiers, men with stern faces, and planned to take the drum for himself. One dark night, Z and his army came to the village. Chaos erupted as the soldiers stormed in, their boots pounding on the ground and swords clashing. Villagers screamed and ran, panic spreading everywhere. Kofi and Nia knew they had to escape before they were caught. Hearts racing with fear, they fled into the mountains, leaving their home behind. Once they reached safety, Kofi felt the weight of the world on his shoulders. "I have to learn how to use this drum," he declared, determination shining in his eyes. Nia nodded, her face serious. "We can't let Zui take it," she said fiercely. Together, they found Elder Mosi, who agreed to teach Kofi the secrets of the enchanted drum. "You must understand its power," Elder Mosi warned. "Control it, or it will control you." Kofi dedicated himself to training, putting his heart into every lesson. He learned to summon rain, wind, and even lightning. He practiced day and night, his hands sore from drumming. But during one stormy practice, a mistake called forth a whirlwind that tore through the forest, uprooting trees and scattering animals. Kofi's heart sank as he saw the chaos. He feared he could not control the drum's power. Days turned into weeks, and Zui's soldiers kept searching for Kofi. The tension in the village grew, and hope began to fade. But Kofi and Nia refused to give up. They spent every moment preparing for the fight that would come, their friendship growing stronger as they trained together. Finally, the day arrived when Zui's soldiers found them. With a fierce roar, Z ordered his army to attack, and chaos erupted. Kofi's heart raced as he saw the villagers being overwhelmed. This was a moment he had trained for, and he could feel the drum's energy surging through him. "Let's do this," Nia shouted, her voice steady and strong. Kofi nodded, gripping the drum tightly. He began to play, calling forth the storm. The wind howled, and dark clouds gathered above them. Lightning struck, lighting up the battlefield. The soldiers, scared by the sudden storm, stumbled in confusion. Kofi played with all his might, directing the storm's power toward Zui's army. The winds roared, lifting men off their feet and sending them crashing down. Zei, realizing he was losing, charged at Kofi, his eyes filled with rage. "You will pay for this," he screamed, raising his sword high. Kofi felt fear grip his heart, but he stood firm. With a powerful beat of the drum, he summoned a wall of wind that knocked Zui off his feet, sending him sprawling into the mud. The villagers rallied behind Kofi, inspired by his bravery. Together, they fought back against Zui's soldiers, their spirits lifted by Kofi's courage. Kofi's rhythm guided them, and with each beat, they grew stronger. In the heat of battle, Kofi realized that true strength was not just in the drum's power, but in the unity of his people. He called upon the drum one last time, creating a mighty storm that surrounded Zui and his army, trapping them in chaos. Defeated, Zei was forced to retreat, his dreams of conquest shattered. The village erupted in cheers, their spirits lifted by Kofi's bravery and the magic of the drum. Elder Mosi approached, pride shining in his eyes as he looked at Kofi, who was panting but triumphant. "You have become a true guardian, Kofi," he said, placing a hand on his shoulder. "You used the drum with wisdom and courage." From that day forward, Kofi promised to use the enchanted drum only for good. With Nia by his side, he continued to explore its secrets, ready for the next adventure. The enchanted drum became a symbol of hope, reminding the villagers that together they could overcome any darkness, and that love, friendship, and courage would always prevail.